Hi guys, welcome to the Arctic. I'm Matt. This is Josh.
I'm Josh.
And
I'm Matt too.
just going to let Matt 2 introduce himself a little bit because Matt 2 is not part of Polaris Outdoor. He's a very, very special guy with an awesome history, and he's going to tell you what he does.
Hi, I'm Matt Messias. I'm a leadership coach and a mental health and wellbeing coach for people across business, sport and education. And that's young people in education and adults. Essentially, people want to get better at what they do. And essentially what I do, I motivate people to be the best they can be, and I utilize the experiences I've been very fortunate to gain in international headship experience, both in New Zealand and in England. And my life as a professional football referee and an international football referee for FIFA, please don't boo. And more recently as a mental health first aid instructor for Mental Health England. And I'm here with these guys, learning lots about leadership development in the snow. Absolutely loving it. If you like what you hear and you'd like to learn more, please take a look at www.mattsize.co.uk.
It's a great privilege to have Matt with us. He is an absolute expert in the field of teaching, learning and coaching in personal development. And he's with us this week to give the students an education outside of what we do, and also just to teach them awesome things about what they can do with their lives as they grow up. So here we are. We're going to go this way. Over this week, the students have been doing different tasks. We have some personal development learning that they've been getting into. And tonight, it's about minus 18 degrees. It's going to go down to below minus 20. And they are going to sleep out tonight in some snow holes, Quinsies, that they've built from scratch. And we're going to go see what they've done and how they're doing it. Good to see you. Some of the awesome things about this environment is the clarity of the air. I know it's nighttime right now, but in the daytime, the scenery is just absolutely beautiful. The visibility is amazing. There's a few things here that show you that the air is exceptionally pure. One of them is from lichens and from fungus. One of them is called Old Man's Beard. It's a pure air indicator. It's also reindeer's favourite food, and it grows everywhere. Shows that the air that we're breathing right now is exceptionally pure. The water also that the students have been drinking is probably quite easily the purest water they've ever drank in their lives. And it fills you with a bit of energy. It's invigorating. The cold is invigorating. I hope all you wonderful parents and carers have bought some nice kit. You're going to need it. And going to have a good time.
It's very cold.
You turn around and have a look. Here's some of the guys. So, guys, tell us what you're up to.
Quinsy.
What?
Quinsy.
Quinsy.
Quinsy. This is not scripted. I'm coming up by myself right now. If we were to pull it into that, we would go through here into this tunnel and up. And all our shelter, which we will be putting up soon, we're going to be sleeping up top there. Now, the reason we're pushing it upwards is so that the air gets trapped in there and we can stay nice and warm.
How much space have you got in there? How many people can we get in so far?
We had another person helping, and he did a big help, but he didn't want to do this, and he didn't want to sleep here, so he's gone back to his cabin.
Okay. You want to try and squeeze a few of us in? Right.
Very careful. Don't hold it in any too far angle or the whole thing will just split.
Okay. Right. Let's try and get in. Right behind you. Okay. So this is the tunnel in. Can you jump up? Sounds good.
Thank you to, if, I don't know if you noticed a ginger person.
Can you hold that for a sec? Just
Yep.
keep it still. Awesome.
I think I need one of these.
Okay.
Due to one of my, sorry. Due to one of my associates, ginger hair, don't know if you noticed, he has helped us dig out most of the space, and I don't know what we would have done without him helping us with it. He has helped us a lot. Same with you, Matt.
Here comes Josh. Just gonna try
And Josh.
Won't really let me tilt this. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. It might seem like this cave is really small, but that's actually because I'm really big.
Josh is big.
It's quite roomy in here.
Explain to us what's going on here, Josh.
So, we explained about temperature. So the whole purpose of building a shelter like this in the snow, when you might think well, building in the snow is going to be really chilly, it's far from it. The wonderful thing about snow is it's made up of 50% oxygen, so it's an incredible insulator. So right now, just coming through the door, it's a dramatic increase in temperature. We've recorded these shelters outside it's 19 degrees, inside it's around 6 degrees.
Minus 19 degrees.
Oh yeah, sorry, minus 19 degrees, 6 degrees inside here. So it's a humongous difference, and that's with 3 people sleeping in it.
I'm quite sweaty.
It's quite sweaty, so what will have to happen at some point is we'll put a little hole about that big just in the top, and that will create a bit of a convection current going so that all the moisture that's breathed out by the various bodies that will be sleeping in here over the course of the night will get pulled out of that. How this works is, I don't know if you can see, but the tunnel that we've just entered in on, the top of that tunnel is higher by about, should be around 50 centimeters. The top of the tunnel is lower than the top of the platform. And what that creates is a cold sump in this tunnel and traps all the hot air in here. And they've got this spot on. What I really like about this is that they've got a nice 90-degree angle from the bottom of the tunnel up to this lip, and then another 90-degree angle out for the bottom of the platform. So they've done really well in this, actually.
Yeah.
If you have a little look around at the roof, what they've got so far is a nice curve throughout the roof itself, and that's going to give it structural integrity. Josh, how many people have you got sleeping in here?
Around, 3.
Three. So
yeah.
maybe a bit more to go in terms of length.
Yeah.
And then just curving around that side, but this is looking fantastic.
Have you found building this, Josh? Have you enjoyed it?
It was very. It may have been difficult, but it was definitely enjoyable, and gave me a lot of time to think. Okay. I think around just doing this after coming back from doing our going over our diaries. Okay, which we have to do in a theater. It takes around 2 hours. Okay, when I come back here after that, I think I've learned a lot more with self-discipline, and I feel like I've become a better person now by digging a ton of snow out.
Very cool. What do you think? Imagine, we're going on a big trek tomorrow out into the wilderness. Imagine if a blizzard came in. Obviously, we'd be packing shovels and the right equipment with us. Do you think being able to build a structure like this would give you a really heightened confidence to go out into the wilderness with some friends and have a good time?
Yeah, you guys were a bit late for this, but when we were building this around, I think it's like 9:40 now, around 9, the Northern Lights were going crazy. It was probably the best thing I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of crazy things.
Amazing. Yeah, we have had a pretty cool show of the Northern Lights tonight, and hopefully we'll get some pictures out to all the families and people that are watching, and post some stuff on Facebook on the Polaris Outdoor Facebook page as well, so you'll get to see all that kind of stuff. Anything else to say about what you've done here today?
I hope I don't die. That's one thing I would like. I want to come back here.
Well,
and don't die again.
Rest assured, you're certainly not going to die because of this shelter. This has been well made.
You've done a brilliant job of this. Don't forget that this construction has actually been tried and tested for hundreds, if not actually thousands of years by human beings. So the method that you've learned this week on how to build this structure, it is a tried and tested and successful method. And you guys, we were watching you for safety, and you were operating really safely today. So you should be proud of that, and also proud of what you've done. It's a lot of work, and you will be snug as a bug in here, because I'm getting warm already just lying in here with us in this shelter. So very, very well done indeed.
So what will probably be nice to do is get a tarp down in here just to protect the bed rolls, the air mats, whatever you've got. What's nice, we've got some reindeer skins as well, and that adds incredible insulation. That'll go on top of the tarp, yeah. And then really, if you can remember your main method of heat loss in here.
Dehydration.
Close. It will be conduction, so you lose heat through the ground mostly, because the ambient temperature is warm.
If I hand this to Josh will be able to see us at the back of the Quinsy, and it'll kind of show how far these guys have got. So obviously they're not finished, and you can also see, as I lie in this very relaxed position, we've got a slope on the ground here. The guys will just need to fashion this a little bit more horizontal so they don't slide on their sleeping bags and on the tarp. They're doing a really good job of smoothing the ceiling. One thing you have to do is kind of knock off all the pointy bits and smooth those out, because the evaporation of water from your breath will condense onto the ceiling, and if it's nice and smooth, that water will actually just kind of flow down the surface, down the sides of the Quinsy, and not get you wet. But if you leave little stalactites on the ceiling, or little lumps, then water can accumulate on that, and it can then drop onto you, and it'll get you a little bit wet during the night time. So if you were going to stay in here, then you'd want to try and make it as smooth as possible. Obviously, do you want to?
A thing that we had to do to check if we were going too deep, we were digging too far, is to Beck. I'm not the one that mainly did this. This was mainly all Beck. Also you, Matt.
I did a little bit,
Yeah.
not a lot.
Yeah, so he told me to go out and check with my flashlight. It's finally working better again. To see, because don't know if you can see this, but if I were to shine that in there, okay, I can see probably see like a bit where things are a bit hollow, things where and other parts where they are a lot more compact. So to check if we were going too deep, I went outside and just put this in here. So I think around where your feet start, this. Okay, we can't really dig much deeper here.
Sure.
But up here, we can dig up. I think we can take around this much out.
Okay.
Take around that much out.
Good.
Yeah.
So the students in the daytime have a really good way of telling if you're going to break through this. Because if you break through this, you risk ruining it. You can sometimes rebuild it, get a nice big block, and place it on top from the outside. It does depend on the condition of the snow at the time, because snow can have many different kind of characters to it. It can be really like ball bearings, or sometimes it can be nice and sticky. Sometimes it can be very, very dry. Sometimes it can be too wet, and obviously go like slush as well. So luckily, us being nearly 500 kilometers inside the Arctic Circle, the condition of the snow is usually quite consistent and semi-sticky and a bit dry. It's been okay this week. One of the other things that the guys need to consider when building the Quinsy is how much energy they're using whilst building this. This is a big endeavour. Now, for the students, it's been their first time. It's taken them nearly the whole day to build this. You spent maybe, what, 6-7 hours on this?
Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
And what usually happens is once they've built one, when they build the second one, they'll do it in 2 hours or 2 to 3 hours. They'll do it much, much quicker because they understand the mechanics of it. There's less fear because there's more confidence in knowing how to do it properly. Also, if it's going to collapse or not, they've got all the safety stuff down by then. They've had the safety stuff really working brilliantly today. And so you've got to think, how many calories am I burning to build something like this? And is it worth it? If you're traveling through the wilderness as a team, you're going to be carrying food and water with you, or you're going to be melting snow using your gas burner. And you're going to be counting those calories to make sure that the energy you're burning during the day gets replaced at mealtime. This being a very large endeavor, this is like an investment. If you built something like this, you would need to make sure that it was worth it in calories. So if I built something like this, I'd expect to stay in this for several days for whatever reason. Maybe I was waiting for a rendezvous. Maybe I was hoping to get picked up by emergency services, etc., etc. So those are some of the survival skills that they learn when they're out here. I take that back, Josh.
Did you talk about the safety? How you make the digging of this safe?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Let's just go into that.
I'll take that, and you can explain if you like.
So once we're kind of at this stage, and like I was saying earlier, these guys have done a good job of making this nice and curved. Their entranceway is nice and curved as well. The strongest shapes are, imagine an old bridge, one of those 200-year-old rickety bridges you see sometimes in the countryside. The underside of it are very arched and they're perfectly circular, and that gives it strength. But when you're first digging in, it's very difficult to get that shape immediately. So when you're first digging your entranceway and then coming upwards before you start building the platform, that's when it's most likely to collapse. So the safety training that we give the students just before we start is you'll have one person digging out the tunnel. You'll have another person right behind them with a shovel, and they've got eyes on that person at all times. They've then got a backup person behind, so that in the event of a collapse, the first person starts digging as fast as they possibly can towards the person who's stuck, and then the person behind can get rid of that spoil as fast as they can. Now, that takes a lot of work. It's exhausting. So as soon as the first person who's digging gets tired, they shout swap, and they swap over. Now we do a test with the students. We teach them about this. We teach them about how long a person can survive without oxygen in the event of a collapse. And then we test them on retrieving, it's just a bag or some inanimate object that we bury a couple of meters into the snow mound, and we time them, and we give them 3 minutes to retrieve the bag, and only at that point do we say, okay, everyone's understood the proper technique for digging, because it's quite easy just to tickle around with the snow. But there's a very specific, I've got a shovel with me now, a very specific chop down action, just to get rid of as much snow as humanly possible, as fast as possible.
Anything else to say? Have you found the week so far? Just tell us maybe a couple of things you've done, what you like, what you don't like, anything at all.
One thing I don't like is that when I want to go buy a Pepsi, it was around €4. I don't know how much that is in pounds, but that seems pretty expensive to hear.
We explain why things are expensive. Do you remember? It was about logistics.
I would probably guess that maybe not many people are coming up here to the Arctic. I don't know. But maybe, and so I guess when they sell drinks, they have to make it pricey. But anyway, less about me.
Well, let's stay on that one because we haven't finished answering that question. We're 500 kilometers inside the Arctic Circle. Is it? Do you think it's cheap to bring up materials and
No.
food and everything up here and resources?
Definitely not cheap for my mum and dad to bring me up. These gloves that they got me. They said if I lose these, I should stay here in Finland. I'm not coming back home.
I think they're right. They're really nice gloves.
Yeah, these are soaking wet right now, and I don't feel a single thing. I don't have any layers underneath here.
So these are
cozy stuff.
proper leather palm
Yeah.
ski mountaineering gloves.
Brand is Hestra.
Yeah, they're really, really good. If you want another good brand, these ones that I'm wearing are Black Diamond. They're basically exactly the same construction, just a different brand. And we'll put some links to some of this kit in the description so that you can see some of the things that we're using. Who's this here?
Hello, James.
James, how have you enjoyed this activity? Tell us.
Well, we had to like dig out the whole thing. We're going to sleep in. Yeah.
It was a bit fun.
Yeah.
Is it hard work?
It's tiring.
Yeah, it is hard work, isn't it? Do you reckon next time you do this, you could do it quicker?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think definitely. Beck,
Hello.
talk to us. You've done a lot of hard work on this.
Yeah. On especially like this evening, I've been like digging it out quite a lot with the bigger shovel that we got. That helped quite a lot. There's not really much to say. We definitely like flatten it out quite a lot more
Yeah,
because it's not very flat right now.
you probably need to go in another meter and then flatten it, and I think it'd be looking quite good.
Another meter.
Yeah.
That's a bit much.
Well, it depends which way you're laying, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. If you lay that way, then maybe half a meter, but it does need to be flat.
We
as well.
do need to go a little bit further. I think it'll keep us warm.
I'm boiling right now.
I feel warm.
It's not too cold in here.
Not too Why are you looking at me? I've been here for like the past 20 minutes. What have you guys done outside?
I'm watching it.
Right, Beck, I'm
No,
going to
wait,
give
no.
you the camera. No, I'll give you the camera. And then if we all back out, and then you can pass me the camera, we'll go outside.
Yep, this seems expensive.
All right, let's go. Okay.
Yep. Bye bye. I don't know if you can see this thing right.
Let's go. Fantastic.
Now,
Here we are. Well done, guys. An absolutely sterling job so far. We'll leave you to it to finish off your digging, and then you can get your sleeping gear and have a brilliant night out. Minus 20 degrees tonight. In there, you'll be snug as a bug, honestly. You've done a fantastic job of making that correctly, so well done. David Salo, introduce yourself. Tell us what you're doing.
David, I'm here in beautiful, icy cold places. Won't say where it is.
David is a experienced member of the Polaris team. He's not wearing through dark yet.
Get on under me.
He
I've got the warmer stuff.
oh, okay, he's got a bit on. He's got a little bit on. But we're getting there. I just want to give a good shout out to Through Dark. If you look at what Josh is wearing, it's all green and brown. And Through Dark are a British outdoor, top-end outdoor company that makes some fantastic clothing. And we absolutely love what they're doing. And it's great that they're British as well. So really, really cool stuff.
Made in Europe, very cool. And I mean, we were here in February, and it was definitely the coldest I've experienced here in northern Finland. And it's kept me much warmer than the kit I had previously, which was by no means cheap kit. It was good kit, so they've really thought about this. It's long lasting, it's well made, got pockets for days. I'm an outdoor instructor, so I love my pockets. Look at that. Brilliant.
all the bushcrafty things in here. We're going to go to Matt Messias, the world-class referee, and just get a little input from Matt on what he thinks of the trip and how he's enjoying it. And yeah, take it away, Matt.
It's been fantastic just to see how the children have progressed through just the few days that we've been here. They started off maybe a little bit timid, weren't communicating as well together, weren't possibly working as a team. And it's been wonderful to see how that has progressed through the days and in the way that they've been working together. I love the reflection they do as well after every activity during the evening. They reflect on what they've done and think what went well and what could be even better. And I think that's such a great part of learning when you take the opportunity to reflect on the learnings of the day. So it's been absolutely fantastic, really enjoying the experience and seeing young people thrive and develop as young people, learning about their emotional intelligence, how they can work together, how they can collaborate, how they can show empathy, how they can motivate each other to be the best they can be. So it's been fantastic seeing them stepping up, and I'm sure they're going to continue to have a great time.
So I appreciate we're only halfway to this week, but have you got any good anecdotes, any funny things that you've observed from the students? Any heartwarming moments?
Heartwarming? It's freezing. Oh my goodness.
Any heart-cooling, chilling, frightening moments?
I'm liking to see some young people learning about the importance of punctuality, being on time, not having their mobile phone.
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
Because as we know, sometimes young people spend so much time on their mobile phones. That's been fantastic. And just some young people stepping up as young leaders, displaying real leadership qualities, which I think has been amazing. So it's been great for me to see that.
So I think just going back to the point you made about punctuality, I know it kind of ties into organisation as well. One of the great things about being here in the Arctic is if your organisation is not good and you do something like lose a bit of your PPE, a simple glove, these temperatures you're not fit to be out in them for any length of time. So what we instill from the get-go really is good kit management and good organisation. So as Josh said, his gloves are soaked today. I've got soaked just from this activity. Other students have got kit that's got quite soaked. We've had some boots that have filled up with snow, and inevitably that's melted, and now we've got wet inner boots. So already today, I've seen growth in sorting themselves out. They're not coming to us for questions anymore, going, "Oh, how I've got wet gloves. What do I do now?" But taking the initiative, going back to the cabins, or every time we go in for a meal, get them on the radiators and just make sure that they're ready and raring to go, really. And this is all something that these skills that they can carry with them later in life. If you're well organised, if you've got good self-management, then you're going to be more likely to be able to grab any opportunity that life throws at you. Is one of the key lessons that we instill.
It seems quite simple, but some of this stuff is actually quite new to some of these students. Let's move this way. We're going to go and find one of the teachers who's brought the students on the trip and just get his take on everything that's going on. As we're moving in this direction, one of the things we did tonight in our studies, so Matt mentioned this, in the evenings after we've done day activities, playing with the husky dogs or building Quinsies or walking out on the snowshoes and skis into the tundra, we come back and we do some personal development. Tonight's topic was about consequence awareness, where the students are learning about the consequences of their actions, but also trying to think about, if I do this one thing, what's the first consequence, what's the second consequence, and what's the third or the fourth one going forward into the future. It really helps them to make good decisions and think about what they're doing before they do those things as well. So we had some great conversations on that tonight. Beck, who you've already met, gave some absolutely outstandingly mature and I thought very wise answers regarding that as well, which was really, really cool to see. It's great to kind of make connections with one another. Obviously, life is about making connections. creating success, creating community, and we try and talk about that. Oh, here we go. Let's come this way. So, want to introduce you guys to Andy. Andy is a highly experienced teacher. Come a bit close, Andy.
Yes.
And Andy, what have you thought about the trip so far?
Well, I mean, it's the first time I've come on the trip. My school's been working with Polaris for quite a few years. It's not a trip. It's an expedition, and there's so much more to it. We're not just here to see the sights and sounds. The kids are here to work as teams. They're here to have an experience I don't think they'll ever have like this again. But over the past few days, I've seen the kids melding as teams, working together, encouraging each other in a situation that is, obviously way out of the classroom. And I've seen them grow. I've seen a couple of very quiet kids come out of their shells, working together and in a positive way. I've not heard any arguments, no disagreements. I've just seen a lot of smiles, a lot of laughter, and I'm so impressed with what they've achieved. That Quinsy is amazing, absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to bring them back again next year.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. We got some Northern Lights on the go.
We have a little bit.
I don't know if our camera will pick those up, but if it
Let's turn the lights off. It might do it without the lights on.
turn the lights off.
Also gives me a chance of resetting it.
Right, if we go up
Where are they?
there, we have got some Northern Lights. I don't know if this will.
Oh, it works on the camera. It's not working on the app.
Okay,
It's because we're using the app.
there will be pictures posted. So, but it is it's quite lovely. It is. I think the Northern Lights is one of those. Northern Lights is one of those bucket list things to see, and we've seen them many times. Of course, every time you see them, they're different, and it's great to see the students see them because the awe and wonder that they get out of it is special, and it's a special place to be and special thing to see. So,
So on that note, we do actually have a couple of questions about the Northern Lights,
go for
about the
it.
science behind them. If you'd like to tell us a little bit, Matt.
No, do I have to embarrass myself?
Yeah.
Quite a bit hard. So, the Northern Lights are the Aurora Borealis. The Northern Lights are a result of particles from space, from the sun, affecting our magnetic field. The magnetic field comes out of the North Pole of our planet and wraps around and goes back into the South Pole of the planet. And it is what does it do? What does the magnetic field do?
So am I right in saying that all things have a magnetic field? Is that right?
I know the bees do.
Fortunately, one of the other teachers we can't find right now
Is a
is a scientist, physicist, and she explained that as the radiation
From the suns.
that is emitted from the sun hits a magnetic field, it
Flows
it discharges and releases light. That's one of the byproducts of that discharging, and that's what you see. The different colours, I believe red is the lowest form of energy release and purple is the highest. So it's the highest EMS, mass projection from the sun. Well, that butchered that one. CME, that's it.
Coronal mass ejection.
Yeah, coronal mass ejection.
I think the colours also have something to do with the altitude in the ionosphere, and the colour changes to do with how high and low they are in the sky as well. It's a beautiful thing to see, absolutely.
So another question regarding daylight. So right now the sun starts to rise. What's the time does it start? Did it rise this morning?
About 6:45.
So we slept out last night, and it was definitely up certainly rising just as we got up. So I think that's about right. We got up about 20 to 7.
Yeah.
Set. I think it's about 20 past 6:30 right now. bear in mind we're late March. When we come in February, it's a very long set because we're higher up on those northern latitudes, so twilight goes on for a lot longer. But that's set around 3 o'clock.
Yeah, the sun stays low in the sky for the whole winter, so twilight is really, really long. Sunrise is very long. Twilight is very, very long, and the kind of the main sun hours of the day are quite short.
But we do miss that when we're closest to the solstice, when it's totally dark here for an amount of time. I'm not quite sure how long that is, so we do get to enjoy the sun. And because of those long sunsets, the light here is amazing. It's amazing for photos. Obviously, everything's glistening with snow, so that makes it look even more incredible. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
A couple of things to tell you before we go. Tomorrow, the students are going out on a day hike. This is to teach them full expedition skills. So they're going to learn how to pack a sled. They're going to be using different cooking systems. We're going to be taking some food with us, and they're going to navigate their way through the tundra out onto the hills above the tree line. There's a pretty incredible view where you can see Norway and Sweden and Russia as well. And the students will learn how to act as a team as though they were on a full expedition in the Arctic. They're doing some compass skills and map skills, and then they're looking after each other as they pull the sleds. Sleds are harnessed, and you have somebody at the back, a buddy, who is looking after the sled from behind, and then the puller doing all the work at the front. And then we've got people on snowshoes who are compacting the snow where needed so we can get through the area. The trails here are well laid out. The maps are good. Josh has already talked about how we've got good 5G, which is a great safety backup in case we get lost or there's a blizzard. And we also have a road, which is another major safety feature, where the students can just turn their compasses to west. No, it doesn't matter where they are, and they will hit that road, which travels north and south down the country. That's a really great fallback and a great kind of cushion, if you like, so that they know that if anything goes wrong, they can just head in that direction. They will hit that road, and you can flag down a car, and they can get themselves to safety. So the expedition skills is a big part of this. We want them to build a lot of self-confidence. By learning these skills, they're going to go home saying, I can navigate in the Arctic. I can stay out at minus 25 or minus 30 degrees Celsius. I've done this, I've done that. The day after, they're going to do some husky dog sledding, which is a real highlight and just a beautiful thing to do. The dogs are absolutely incredible, and they'll learn how to handle the team, and they'll go out into the wilderness for the afternoon, and they'll go and enjoy their time with the dogs, enjoying the scenery in the very, very traditional way with using dog teams and a sled, which people for thousands of years have done in this part of the world. Winding up the rest of the week, they're going to learn some base camp skills and learn to cook outside again, different conditions. And then we'll probably have a giant big snowball fight to finish off everything that we're doing.
Mandatory snowball fight.
Sorry, we lost everyone there. On Thursday, the students are going to be doing some husky dog sledding, and they're going to get out into the wilderness with a dog team. There'll be 2 people on a sled. They'll learn how to handle the sled, also handle the dogs, and just enjoy the scenery and the amazingness which is this environment in the Arctic. It's a really cool thing to do. Often another big bucket list ticker, which is really great. And most of the students, when they've done that, they say that is a highlight of the trip.
Great. Well, I'm sorry if we lost some of you there. I think hopefully we've got you back up there now. I think Hannah's still got some technical difficulties. But if there's any more questions, please feel free just to send them through.
Where's Matt? I can't see him. Right. I think if there are any questions, please pop them in now. We're just going to wind up. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with these young people this week. There's been a lot of growth. There's been some very strong individuals. We've seen service, we've seen selflessness, and we've seen people getting on really, really well. And all of that is it's a great pleasure to see. And we hope that the value of this week will continue, and obviously have a great time as well.
I'm only walking backwards at the moment because they want to see the other kids.
Oh, okay. So there's another Quinsy being built just over here. I think these guys accidentally punched a hole through their roof. So we're going to have a look at that. Like I said, they can be repaired. Let's see how they're doing. The young leaders, by the way, we have a young leadership program where they're training to become not just outdoor leaders, but leaders. They're learning some teaching skills, some methodologies around that. They're also learning how to tutor and help their peers, which is really cool. Those guys are packed off into the wilderness by themselves. They've got a radio so they can contact us if they need to, but they've gone out into the wilderness to sleep in a shelter which is about 1 kilometre behind us in that direction. It's awesome for their self-confidence that they can pack a sled by themselves with the kit they need, go out into the wilderness, find a bunkhouse, light a fire in it with just using a knife and a fire steel, spend an awesome night just hanging out and chilling together and sharing conversation, and then get themselves back in the morning. It's a really cool thing to do. So those guys have gone and done that. Right, what are we looking at here?
Well, I think we were trying to find some other students, but I think we may have gone to 10. It's coming up 10:30 now. They're probably all in in their sacks and get back.
If we finish our little webinar tonight, again, sorry for the glitches. We are in the middle of nowhere, but thank you for joining us. Matt, do you want to finish our little conversation with some words of wisdom?
Sure. Focus on what's strong, not what's wrong.
Oh,
Go.
Wow.
And that's what they've been doing. They've been focusing on what's strong. And servant leadership. I've absolutely loved seeing them serve others. I think that's been a fundamental part of the week so far.
if a world-class referee says those words, believe them.
Yeah. Listen.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone.